Hello, Lockport Township High School District 205 parents and guardians. My name is Dr. Bob McBride, Superintendent of Lockport Township High School District 205, and this is your board meeting brief for the Board of Education meeting that we had right here in the Porter Room on Monday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We actually did not start the board meeting here in the Porter Room. We did what we have to do so often with students who are constantly excelling. We met in the East Campus cafeteria, really to celebrate students who have performed at the highest level. Before I name those students, one thing I always like to point out to you as parents, guardians, community members, is that our board agendas are always available to you online. They're easy, a couple of clicks, and you can see everything that our board members see. You can see all of our finances every month. You can see bids for construction that we're approving. You can see a recent bond issue that we approved at that board meeting on March 17th. It's all at your fingertips, and we do that so that you can partner with us in openness and transparency. You can see what board members see, even if you're not live streaming the board meeting or attending yourself. We know that you appreciate that. So let's talk about some of the students that we congratulated. And again, it's amazing at our high school district to have students who achieve at the highest level. First, we had Olivia Matasek. She was a third place finisher at the IHSA bowling, women's bowling tournament this year. Incredible. If you've ever been to IHSA bowling, super intense. Then we had to congratulate Justin Wardlaw. Justin Wardlaw for the third year in a row, freshman, sophomore, and now his junior year. He has been a state finisher, finishing as a runner-up second place in his weight class in IHSA wrestling. And then finally, we acknowledge Claudia Heaney. She is a two-time now state champion in IHSA girls wrestling. We also had an opportunity to congratulate two of our musical groups. We brought forward a number of vocal singers who all were all-state choir members at the Illinois Music Association's annual conference in Peoria. It was great to congratulate them and see them perform most recently this week on March 20th. They have their concert. We also had an opportunity to congratulate our band members who are also all-state at the Illinois Music Association's annual conference in Peoria. These were groups of students who achieved the highest level of musicianship in the state of Illinois. And speaking of which, we had an amazing, amazing night this past Saturday, March 15th. We had two vocal groups, Vocal Point and Off the Record, who went up to Milwaukee and competed in the Great Lakes Regional. This is the entire upper Midwest, a competition between a cappella groups, and Lockport Township swept the entire event. Vocal Point were champions. They automatically move on to New York City to compete nationally on April 25th. Off the Record finished second, and they have an opportunity to enter that same national competition as a wild card. All of the other individual awards for beatboxing, choreography, lead vocal were won by Lockport Township High School students. And I mention this to you because one thing I always share with our board, and I'd like to share with you, is there are many, many, many ways that you can measure the success of our students. You can look at standardized test scores, grade point averages, their scores on tests. But I would submit to you that one of the best ways to measure the success of our students is performance. When there is the pressure of being on stage or a wrestling match, when you're at the end of a bowling lane, do you step up? Do you have grace under pressure? Our porters do it all the time, and you should be very proud of them. There's really 4,000 of them that do it every day by coming to a place called school and just doing what they do, being great kids, your children. In terms of the board agenda, there are two things that I want to highlight on a very long agenda because actually March 17th in our March meeting every year is the most consequential board meeting of the year. It's the most important decision that our board makes, and we made two. The first is our annual staffing plan. And this is a staffing plan for what we call our licensed staff. And you might say, licensed staff, who are those people? Licensed staff are classroom teachers, deans, guidance counselors, social workers, psychologists, certified school nurse, speech pathologist. These are the people that work the most directly with your children. And in Illinois, they have to own or have a professional educator license. We go through a long process starting in November where students begin to sign up for classes. It extends all the way into February. And then we took all of those signups, 27,000 individual signups. We turn those into class sections. We use those class sections to determine how many teachers we need to function and fulfill those requirements next year. We are adding 2 positions, and those 2 positions will be added because Illinois State Board of Education did an audit of the services we provide for English language learners and found that to be in compliance, we need to add 2 more positions. And so we need to do that. So we're only adding those 2 positions to our licensed staff. But every year, the Board of Education directs me to control the costs of hiring. And the way that we do that is when we have more expensive employees who either retire or resign, we replace them with talented individuals for sure, but cost less. Over the past 6 years, we've actually saved the district almost $400,000 in hiring costs with our plan to replace human beings and hire. We put first and foremost your children, their requests, and what they want in order to take class. And so when our board members approved our staffing plan, they approved the largest portion of our personnel and the most costly portion of our personnel every single year. It is a decision that takes many, many days, many hours to be accurate and precise. And now we're going to move on to hire that staff that will fulfill that staffing plan and to begin to schedule your children for next year into classes. The second very important decision we made is our board voted to approve $15 million in life safety bonds to begin the process, a 2-summer process of replacing the entire roof. We'll do half of it this summer at Central Campus, to improve, to restore, to maintain the entire exterior envelope, the masonry there, tuck pointing and new windows, and to begin the process of replacing the electrical system at Central. This is part of our essential maintenance plan for Central Campus. Last year, you might recall, we had a referendum. It did not pass. Afterwards, we did extensive surveying of the community. Almost 700 of you wrote to the Board of Education. You gave us a very clear action plan, and top of that list was maintaining our facilities. Right after that was doing it in a financially responsible way. The $15 million in bonds that will fund this 2-summer project will add no additional tax burden to anyone in our community because we'll be keeping that debt low. We will be paying it through cash reserves. This bond will last 20 years. It'll only last 20 years unless we repay it earlier. And we've done that frequently because the board has directed me and other superintendents to keep debt low in the district. So we will not extend that burden to you. And also our obligation with this 20-year bond at Central is to maintain it as an educational facility as long as we're still paying the loan. But whatever programming we do there is really up to us. We currently have a Facilities Master Planning Council that's taking a look at the 20-year future of all of our facilities. What do you want? What does the community need? What do future porters need in terms of top-notch community and school facilities? To make that start, we need to have a building that can house almost 900 freshmen. And our board has taken a step, working on it for a year, to do just that with approving the sale of these bonds. We also approved a number of different bid packages to begin working towards that project in the summer. And we were very happy that those bid packages all came in lower than we initially expected. Some really hard work by DLA Architects and Berglund Construction. Important decisions being made, but that's really what school board members do. And I want to personally thank our current school board members for their very, very hard work digging into the finances of our district, both with staffing and both with these life safety bonds that will create a 2-summer construction project. They've directed me to 1, add no additional tax burden onto you, 2, to always balance our budget, 3, to control our spending. Presently, for the past 10 years, we've only increased our budget 1% each year. And finally, No heavy debt, no deficit spending. A very conservative approach to facilities, to finances, to hiring. And I appreciate that they've put the hard work and the time into making sure that that's exactly what we as an administration are doing on your behalf. Thank you so much for listening to this board meeting brief for Monday, March 17th. And to all of you, have a wonderful, wonderful spring break with your students.